Good afternoon or good morning, Year 11. I just want to run you through Lesson 2 in case you're doing this lesson remotely and asynchronously. It's quite similar to the last lesson. So we've got the Google Docs, which have a number of graphs in. Sometimes there's a little bit of information, and then there will often be questions for you to answer. If it's a natural draw on the graph, you may not be able to do this in Google Classroom, but you can do the reflections on it. So you're going to cover 4 types of graphs today. You're going to cover, or maybe slightly more, line graphs, pie charts, pictograms, isoline, desire lines, and flow lines. And they're all the same type of graph, those 3. They're kind of maps. So 3 graphs, 3 maps. So the first thing is to think about, do you know what they are? Do you know how to read them? When would you use them? Do you know anything already? Okay, and then you can start to have a look. So it says here, complete the questions as we go through. Why is a line graph a good way to present this data? Again, with each question, you will have answers on the next page for you to look at to compare to your answers. Then we're going to go through compound line graphs, then some more questions, and it tells you how to actually calculate the percentages. I think, yep, I've done that for you. Then we're going to move on to some questions on whether we should use compound line graphs. Again, answers on the next page. Desire and flow lines are a little bit different. They are maps, and they show directions of movements, of travel, migration, for example. Here we've got people walking up and down a street. So again, have a little read and have a little answer of the questions, some answers for you. And isoline, basically the most common example of this is contour maps, where each value is represented by a line. So along this line, everything equals 120. Now I believe I have completed the ones on your sheet, or maybe I haven't actually. Don't worry about completing them on your sheet. You possibly find it a little bit difficult, but you can answer the questions about the description of it. I've given you some ideas there. What you might want to do is have a think about which ones would be joined up and where the lines would be, and compare it to the answers. Again, advantages and disadvantages of this method for you to put on. And then we're going to move on after contours to pie charts. So we're thinking about how we display this data. We could show it in a triangular graph like this, but pie charts are quite simple and easy ways to present data. And there's a question on the sheet for you to answer, which is number 3 here. It's just another graphical technique and why that could be used. Finally today, pictograms. Again, have a look at it, answer the questions on the sheet. So it should be quite straightforward today. Lots of look at a graph, think about it, answer the questions, and then a bit of self-reflection at the end on the progress you've made, how you feel about those. So essentially we've got line graphs, compound line graphs, pie charts, pictograms, different ways of displaying data, flow charts, desire lines, they are isolines, they are ways of displaying data on maps.